We just arrived at the American Queen to sail the Mississippi all the way from Memphis to New Orleans. In a bit, we're going to show you all this beautiful ship has to offer. But first, let's visit Graceland. When cruising to or from Memphis on the American Queen, a must-visit is Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley purchased his home in March of 1957 and spent his first night here on June 26 that same year. He lived here for only 9 months before enlisting in the U.S. Army in March of 1958. During Elvis's tour of duty, his parents, Vernon and Gladys Presley, lived in the home. The home today is like a time capsule with everything as it was the day Elvis Presley died. In a beautiful garden, Elvis's immediate family, parents, Vernon and Gladys, grandmothers, Minnie Mae, himself, and most recently his daughter, Lisa Marie, are all laid to rest here at Graceland. The American Queen is the largest steamboat ever built, and because of the plentiful space, you will sleep and bathe in comfort in the many varieties of staterooms and suites that she has to offer. And all rooms have a view. From the bay window staterooms to suites with private verandas, you will always have a place to sit down, unwind, and take in the beautiful sights along the Mississippi River. Many of the ship's common areas are furnished and decorated using antiques and collectibles from the Victorian era. As we continue down the Mississippi to our next stop on this wonderful journey, a beautiful sunset makes a perfect good night. We just arrived in Tureen Landing, and we're heading to Cleveland, Mississippi to visit one of the only 2 Grammy museums in the world. A well-organized and comfortable hop-on, hop-off bus system provided by the American Queen gets you to all the points of interest in Cleveland, Mississippi, including its quaint and friendly downtown. Now you might be asking, why is there a Grammy Museum in Cleveland, Mississippi? Well, it turns out some of the greatest talent in the world has hailed from this region, like Leontine Price, Charlie Pride, and many more. And this museum is here to honor them, and we're super excited to take you inside. As you walk through the Grammy Museum, you will see up close and personal memorabilia starting from the inception of the Grammy more than 7 decades ago to present day. With some interactive activities, you will also get to participate firsthand in the music creation process. And before you leave, don't forget to visit the theater to view some of the great music performances from the past 70 years.
Please welcome Captain Bert Suarez.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard.
The Captain's Welcome Aboard cocktail reception on the first full river day brings crew and guests together for a toast for a wonderful cruise.
Riverboat shuffle as we go from Memphis down to New Orleans. Cheers.
Every evening on board, there is a wide range of entertainment, from pianists playing and singing many of the oldies but goodies, to a live orchestra with fully choreographed musical reviews, to an assortment of variety acts such as magicians and bands jamming in the engine bar. You'll always have something to do before or after dinner and throughout the night.
I'm going to do a money trick. Sir, do you have any money? Yes. Thank you.
You know you did me wrong, baby, and you'll be sorry someday. Yeah. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away from me.
As the sun sets over the Mississippi River and our first full day on the river comes to an end, we begin to understand why so many people over the centuries have written about the river's beauty, power, and mystique. After a great night of food and entertainment and a very restful sleep, we have arrived at the historical city of Vicksburg. Come with me to explore some magnificent pre-Civil War homes and the battlefield of Vicksburg. Welcome to Anchuka, one of the finest examples of a pre-Civil War mansion. Achuca, which means happy home in the Choctaw language, was once the home of the brother of Confederate President Jefferson Davis, and now serves as an upscale bed and breakfast in the heart of Vicksburg. With many of its beautiful furnishings from the pre-Civil War era, staying here for a few nights or just visiting for a day will make you feel like you've been transported back in time. You will be transported on one of American Queen's tour buses on the 16-mile tour of Vicksburg's National Military Park. You will have a chance to see many of the statues, memorials, and points of interest up close, as the tour bus will make frequent stops so that you can get out along the way. The Illinois Memorial, with its replicating design of the Pantheon in Rome, is the park's largest memorial, and a climb to the top is a must-do on this tour. The USS Cairo and its museum is the longest stop along the tour. The story of its rise from the bottom of the Mississippi River to where it rests today is not only fascinating, but legendary. Watching the sunset from the American Queen's front porch and reflecting on the first visit to Vicksburg is the perfect way to end the day. A restful sleep, everyone. Welcome to Natchez, Mississippi. You know, Natchez has over 600 examples of historical architecture. Today, we are jam-packed with ATVs, whip popping, horseback riding, and so much more. And we're going to take you along with us. We arrive at the Great Rivers Outdoors for a day full of adventure.
We just let it get behind you, a little pause before we bring it back around. There you go.
Better?
A little pause in the back.
Oh.
Yep.
We hop on our ATV to start the tour. Woohoo! First stop, feeding a herd of cattle and their new baby calves. Next stop, archery practice. We're here at archery practice, and they're going to teach me how to hit the bullseye. If I do, I'm going to win a stuffed teddy bear. Robin Hood, watch out. Yeah! Now off to do a little fishing in the nearby pond. Okay, let's throw some tomahawks. Oh, okay. One of the highlights of the American Queen is a stop in Natchez, Mississippi, and I had a chance to explore this wonderful city today, and we have the honor of being with the mayor of Natchez, Dan Gibson. Dan, how are you?
Hello, Bill. I'm great. Every day is great.
It's great to be here. What is the attraction that people are drawn so much to Natchez, Mississippi?
Well, I think it's just, number one, what a beautiful place. The oldest city on the highest bluff on this beautiful part of the lower Mississippi. The views are stunning.
Tell me about all the awards Natchez has won. I mean, best small city in the South to live, among others.
Yes. You know, it all started really when so much of the country was shut down during the pandemic. We worked to stay open responsibly. Little did we know Forbes magazine was watching us, and in February of 2021 voted us one of the top safest places to visit during a pandemic.
And I understand the culinary program on the American Queen has been re-engineered by a local here in Natchez.
Yes, Regina Charbonneau. We love Regina and we're so proud of her. And she is a Natchez native. And Regina has served top celebrities all the way from LA to just local mom and pops. Everybody loves her biscuits. And it's so great to have Regina on the American Queen giving cooking lessons, cooking demonstrations, and truly Natchez cuisine is second to none.
I've been with the American Queen, it's hard to believe, for 12 years in different capacities. You know, I created the menus originally, and then I was a shore excursion and the guests would come to me in Natchez, and then I came back as culinary ambassador. So that role has been very important to do the research along the rivers that tell the story of where we are through food.
I know people that have actually visited by cruise ship and by boat have actually relocated here.
Well,
what's the magic?
It's easy to fall in love because of all these beautiful live oaks, the horse-drawn carriages, and the beautiful mansions and hundreds of antebellum structures.
I'm the very first author to type a manuscript. Did you know that? I used the Underwood to type the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Oh, the profanity that could have been put in that book that I had to leave out by hitting the wrong key, you see. Good night, everyone.
And the sun sets once again over the breathtaking Mississippi. Get a good night's sleep as we have a busy day tomorrow in Louisiana's capital. Do you know what the capital of Louisiana is? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's Baton Rouge. And behind me is the new state capitol building, built in 1932. Baton Rouge is a beautiful, vibrant, and walkable city. You can spend the day strolling along the Mississippi River's shore or venture downtown to see places like St. John's Cathedral or the magnificent old state capitol building with its gorgeous stained glass dome. Back on board, a view of Baton Rouge from the American Queen helps you understand why this capital city is so important to the state of Louisiana and to the commerce in the United States. Welcome to the engine room on board the American Queen. You know, the engine room on board is open to all guests. The American Queen is unlike most riverboats today because its paddle wheel is driven by a true steam engine. In June 1992, the decision to use the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers dredged Kennedy after it was retired following the 1984 World's Fair in New Orleans began a 2-year restoration project before it was installed in September 1994. Nearly 30 years later, that same steam engine is what takes the American Queen up and down the Mississippi River. We are here in Nottoway, Louisiana, and from what I've been told, this place is the real deal. Come venture with me deep into the bayou. The Nottoway Plantation Home, designed by New Orleans architect Henry Howard for cotton and sugar baron John Randolph, is the largest pre-Civil War home still in existence, with 53,000 square feet of space. The whimsical and beautiful white ballroom, along with many of the antique furnished rooms, are used today for special events and as a bed and breakfast. When you come to Bayou Country, you must experience a swamp tour. Your captain, who is also your tour guide, will take you slowly down a swamp-like river to show you all sorts of wildlife, especially the very popular and plentiful alligators. Your captain will bring on board some freshly caught crayfish, a very popular delicacy here in southern Louisiana, and you will even have an opportunity to watch him feed the alligators. As we sail from Nottoway, Louisiana, we have one last amazing sunset before we leave the beautiful American Queen tomorrow. This cruise, if not already, should be on everyone's bucket list. When you disembark the American Queen, spend a day or a couple of nights discovering the fascinating and historical city of New Orleans.